Claire, welcome to Halloween Daily. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking to us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're talking about Departing Seniors, which is a new horror, a new slasher, a high school set slasher, in a long tradition of high school horror movies and slasher movies. And you introduce a new masked killer in the film. Um, and I guess I wanted to start with because I love how the characters kind of reference some of our favorite classics and some of it thematically and some just in the dialogue. So I wanted to start there. They're clearly fans of the genre. Are you yourself a horror fan and a fan of the slasher subgenre?
Yeah, I've always been, I've always loved Scream. I've always seen all the Scream movies, but my friend Jose, who wrote the film, he puts me to shame. He's seen like every single horror and slasher. And so when we kind of got together to collaborate on this, I said to him, you got to write me a long list of every movie I need to watch, every reference, etc. He was like, absolutely. So he sent me a long list and I got right on it. And now I feel like I'm much more well-versed than I was a year and a half ago. It was like my homework. And I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's dive in.
I love it. I love it. And when we talked to Ignacio, he said a similar thing. He got quite a list of reference material
Yeah,
to do some homework with. So that's cool. So you did get well versed going into it.
absolutely. Yeah.
And and this is your feature directorial debut. And I know you've directed shorts, and of course you've worked in front of the camera. What really drew you in, and how did you become involved in and land this as your directorial debut?
Yeah, Jose and I have been friends for many years now. We were in the same kind of Chicago theater community, and so I knew he was a screenwriter, and he kind of transitioned to being a playwright. Or sorry, strike that and reverse it. He was a playwright. He was a playwright, and he started transitioning to being more screenwriter. And he sent me the script to it, and he said that they were looking for the right director, and so I went in and I chatted with him and the lead producer, and the rest is kind of history. We decided to make it together. I felt like the characters had they felt really funny and grounded and relatable. I loved their friendship. It felt really human. And uh, I don't know, it reminded me of kind of some high school relationships I had, and how your friends are everything to you in high school. And so at the very core of it, it felt like a friendship film. And that's what drew me in initially. And then all the fun and the bells and whistles and all the different characters surrounding it, and the different visions and the visuals that I could kind of dive into, because I love to kind of I have a background in cutting. I cut most of my work, and so I felt like there was just a lot of room to play and really explore, and it made me really excited to work on it.
And like I mentioned, you introduced a new masked killer, and it's got an interesting mask with the comedy drama in one. How did you guys arrive on that design? I'm always curious, and us horror fans, we're always curious about the mask design. Where did that come from, and how did you guys arrive on that?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's funny. A recent reviewer called it the drama club killer, and I was like, "Ooh, is that the new Ghostface?" I love it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it was always meant to be that comedy and horror duality for the mask, but in terms of actually narrowing in specifically what that would look and feel like, it was a collaboration between myself, Jose, and Lalo, who was designing the mask. It was just find that right combination of it is recognizable as that classic comedy and horror, but it's more grotesque and more sleek, and kind of stands out in a way that's a little bit more chilling than what you would see on a standard drama club board. So it was finding that kind of that happy medium, and we fell in love with that mask. I mean, I have it right here, actually, here.
oh, I love it.
Fell in love with it, yeah. So it was for sure like a function of trial and error between myself and the screenwriter and our designer. He did an amazing job.
Very cool. And again, I know from talking to Ignacio that it was a very short shoot time,
It was,
like
yeah.
about 2 weeks, I guess. What was the most challenging part of the shoot for you? Because again, it's your feature debut, and there's a lot going on here, and you've got this very short window to shoot with. What what did you find the most challenging part to be?
So it was the hardest part for me was stunts. Stunts slow down a day a lot for good reason, right? Because safety has to come first. But I one day we blew through 14 pages of text in one day. Like, and I have no problem, doing dialogue heavy scenes and accomplishing it in a 12 or 14-hour day. Stunts, you just can't do that. You can get through maybe 6 pages if you're lucky. And so that was really, really challenging, is kind of we had a great stunt team. We had people like very much taken care of. It was just a function of fitting that into our day and seeing how that slowed down the overall energy on set. So that's just something to always keep in mind, when you have kills, when you have violence, when you have underwater pool scenes, when you have knives, when you have blood, when you have special effects. It's all these things add so much time because you cannot hurry those things up because of safety. And also just like to get the right camera angles with the right shot with the person's reaction, the right fist angle and whatever, and there's the stair falling scene that was really complicated to get right, So I would say overall stunts was the toughest thing about this set. And it was something I'd never done before. I directed plenty of things that had to do with drama, comedy, relationships, conversations, movement, lots of different locations. So there was a lot I wasn't worried about, but stunts was a new kind of variable to add to my plate.
Yeah, and kind of hard to do a slasher without addressing
You
the stunts,
gotta,
and
yeah,
we
you
got to
gotta have
have
some
that in there.
fun.
Again, Halloween daily. Halloween's always on our mind, and you've got this cool mask. I asked Ignacio this, but are you ready to start seeing this mask and this killer out during Halloween, like at
Yes,
parties or even kids out trick or treating wearing this
I
mask now?
want it. I want it. Like, let's do it. Let's start it. Yeah, we have a bunch of theaters are about to release the film, and on tomorrow actually we're having a small event for folks that live in Los Angeles, and so that's why I got the mask sent to me. I'm gonna make people take pictures of the mask in front of the red carpet because I think it's just such a fun one, and I think that it could be the new Ghostface. So why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I could totally see that. And again, it does have a lot of that fun vibe that the Scream movies have, and the, kind of that tone of, there is a lot of funny stuff happening, but there's still some serious murder and some heart in there as well, and a lot going on. So again, to bring it back to Halloween, if you'll indulge us before we let you go, we always like to ask just what the holiday itself means to you. Do you celebrate? Do you look forward to it and try to go big on Halloween like we do?
I do. I go pretty all out. Some years I go the scary route. Some years I go like I'll pick a really specific thing and nail it. Like one year I was the Zoltar machine from Big, and I really like went all out and I nailed it. I won like a costume contest. And so I love it. I'm an actor, that's my background, and so I love to dress up, to pretend to be somebody else. So I definitely go all out for Halloween. I'm trying to think of my last like really scary outfit though, because I feel like that's what y'all are gonna want. It's been a while. I've started to go the route of a specific character that I nail. But I often do like a zombie version of someone. Like I played Mrs. White in Clue, but I did her with flames coming out of that line, which is like flames on the side of my face. So I painted flames on my face. It had like a noose around my neck with like all the marks there. So I called myself Undead Mrs. White. So that's the kind of thing I'll do. I'll do a creepy version of a specific character.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, creeping it up a little bit. And you might have just answered it, but yeah, we always try to ask, what is your favorite Halloween costume that you've worn? You might have just answered it, and then your favorite Halloween candy.
Ooh, favorite Halloween candy has got to be like, I mean, kind of boring, but Reese's peanut butter cups
Yeah.
probably, or something like that, or like 100 grand bars. And then favorite Halloween costume ever is probably my friends and I did the characters in Rocky Horror. I was the the one with the crazy hair and the maid's outfit. I forget her name, but that's who I was. We all three were out together being those weirdos in Rocky Horror, and that was really, really fun. My hair was teased up really, really high, and I looked like death. It was great.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. Very cool. I love it. I love all those picks. Well, again, I know you're super busy, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us today. And yeah, as we're recording this, Departing Seniors comes out tomorrow. So as everybody's watching, it'll be out. We recommend it, and we always hate to say goodbye, but since every day's Halloween for us, I'm just gonna say Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.